Everyone, we're back with Bodybuilding's top 50 most asked questions, part number 2. Now, since I don't like to really explain everything, I like to just jump start into the video. The first category we have for our first 5 questions is general fitness questions. So let's kick this thing off. What's the best workout for beginners? I would say compound exercises. So follow push-pull legs. For your push day, do bench press. For your pull day, do bent over rows. And then for your leg day, do squats. Just doing that simple routine for a month and getting comfortable with those exercises, working on the technique, working on your form, you'll build a tremendous amount of muscle without having to really think about it too much. I know when I first started off, what I did is if it was my push-pull leg day, I would go and look at every single machine. So for example, if it's my chest day, I would go look at all the machines, and then I would do a certain number of sets, like 3 sets of 10 reps on that machine that says it works out chest. I know it's that simple, and then I would just do the same thing for the pull and leg day. 2, how often should I work out? It depends on your goals, but honestly, you should be working out between 3 to 6 times a week. If you really want to see progress, I recommend 5 to 6 times a week, as it's the most beneficial to muscle growth. What is a warm-up and why is it important? Warming up is important. I don't think that if you're stretching like this, not good. You want to do dynamic stretches. So those are the stretches that kind of just get your blood moving and your body flowing, and that's better. I like to warm up with a lightweight. I don't feel like there's any better warm-up than actually doing the movement. So for example, if I'm gonna bench press, then I'll throw on a 45 on each side and do 15 to 20 reps as a warm-up set before I get into my actual sets. I feel like that's better than doing all this weird stuff and making a fool of yourself inside the gym, because people aren't gonna know what you're doing. You're not even gonna know what you're doing. So what is a warm-up and why is it important? We just did that. How long should a workout last? Typically 30 to 60 minutes is the answer. I would say that your workout should last for about an hour. If you really are making a workout effective, most training sessions are 45 minutes to an hour and a half. Anything longer than that, you're not overworking. You're not doing anything special, buddy. You're not working harder than everybody else in the gym. You're just simply overtraining, or you're doing junk volume. So congratulations for wasting your time. Question 5 is, can I work out every day? Yeah, you can. I'm not gonna stop you. For our next category, strength training. Question number 6, what are compound exercises? Compound exercises are simply just exercises that work out multiple muscle groups. So whenever you do a bench press, that's a compound exercise because it works out your chest, your shoulders, your triceps. Same thing with squatting. You're working out multiple muscles. You're working out your ass, you're working out your quads, and you're working out your hamstrings. Your calves, a little bit in that, but everybody knows you can't grow your calves. How many reps and sets should you do to build muscle? I would say 8 to 12 reps and a minimum of 3 to 4 sets per exercise. And I would do about 4 different exercises. So that's about a total of 16 sets throughout your whole workout of doing 8 to 12 reps on those. If you aren't sure and you're a beginner, I always say that doing more is better. So I would get on the higher range of that. And instead of doing 10 reps, I would do 12, because that's a way to know that you're actually doing something effectively. Sometimes it is better to work harder. Can lifting weights help me lose fat? Yeah, but not really. Your typical weight lifting session probably burns around 100 calories. And I'm talking about an hour to 2 hour session. You don't burn that many calories lifting weights, because think about what you're really doing. All you're doing is pushing something, like it's not, you're not moving your full body. Cardio is what you need to lose fat. So yeah, it helps. And the more muscle mass that you get, obviously, I believe every pound of muscle burns the extra certain amount of calories for your BMR, your basic metabolic rate. So yeah, it boosts your metabolism as you progress and gain muscle. Do you need to lift heavy to build muscle? Nah, you don't. But you should be adding weight every week or every other week. And this is known as progressive overloading. And that's the only way that you're going to grow and actually build that muscle and strength inside the gym. But you don't have to look like Ronnie Coleman, Larry Wheels, picking up the whole world and putting it on your back in order to gain a little bit of muscle and strength. Like, bodybuilding is not complicated. It's actually fairly simple. Is it okay to strength train 2 days in a row? Yeah, just don't hit your chest as hard as you possibly can one day and then the next day try to hit your chest again. That would be ridiculous. Just strength train a different part of your body. So if you did chest on Monday, do your legs on Tuesday, or do your back on Tuesday, vice versa. So now we're in the category of cardio and fat loss for questions 11 through 15. What's the best cardio for fat loss? I would say do what you prefer. Some people like to run. Some people prefer walking on incline. Some people prefer walking on the treadmill, Stairmasters. Do anything that you can do consistently. And I recommend starting out at about 10 to 15 minutes and then gradually increasing as your stamina and endurance get better. What do I think is best for cardio? I just think running is the number one thing. Move your body. How often should you do cardio? Now here it says 3 to 5 times per week for 20 to 45 minutes. What do I think? I've always heard that you want to get at least 150 minutes of cardio in a week. I think that cardio, if you work, go to college, whatever your job may be, look at your steps. If your steps are already averaging around 6,000 to 7,000 steps after work or after school, and then you go and do regular everyday tasks like walking at the grocery store, going to the gym, I don't necessarily think that cardio is necessary as long as you have your diet dialed in. But if you do want to boost your endurance, have more stamina, etc., have a long-term health that's better for you, then do cardio. What is HIIT? So high intensity interval training is basically whenever you do short bursts of maximum energy or maximum effort, take a little minute rest, and then do it again. So for example, sprints would be an example of HIIT training, which is HIIT. You sprint, give your all for 30 seconds to a minute, stop, take a few minutes of rest, and then you do that again and repeat. Do I think it's effective? Yes, but I wouldn't recommend it for weightlifting. It's more effective for like building those fast twitch muscle fibers in order to run faster. Maybe you'll be the next person to beat speed in a race. Is fasted cardio better for fat loss? No, it's all about calories in, calories out. Simply does not matter. Can I do cardio and strength on the same day? Yes, but I recommend doing your weightlifting session first and doing the cardio afterwards. You don't want to waste your stored energy on running, biking, whatever the case may be, and then go try to lift weights. One, it's going to feel awkward whenever you do so. And two, you're simply just not going to be able to do as much unless you're steroided out like 99% of these fitness influencers. Next, we'll move into nutrition and diet. So for question 16, do I need protein after working out? Yes, I would say you should always have protein post-workout. It's gonna help you build that muscle, build that strength. Your body is literally fiending for food like a crackhead fiends for crack at that point. So eat your chicken breast after you work out, protein shake, whatever the case may be. Question 17, how much protein do I need per day? All you need is about 0.7 to a gram of protein per body weight. I recommend a gram per body weight, per pound of body weight is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so if you weigh 200 pounds, try to eat 200 grams of protein. Look towards lean protein sources such as turkey, chicken. Pork is more fatty, but I just like to keep it at chicken, steak, turkey for the most part. Can I lose weight without changing my diet? It's possible, but if you think that you're gonna be some fat and going to eat Popeyes and Pizza Hut and Subway that contains 1,000 calories a foot long, and et cetera, McDonald's, Wendy's, you're probably still going to be fat, buddy. It's time to make a change in your life. Are supplements necessary? No, but the world is full of competition. So why would you stay natural in a world full of competition who is unnatural, who is supplemented themselves? Do you want to be a loser or do you want to be a winner? That's when the supplements come into play. And when the natural supplements aren't good enough, that's when the enhanced supplements come into play. And then you get this whole thing of you want to be the best. What's the point of training if you're not trying to be the very best version of yourself? So supplements are not necessary, but they're necessary. Is it bad to eat late after a workout? No. If it fits your goals, if you need to get your extra calories in, if you're hungry, go for it, man. As long as you're not eating everything at night, because I know that's a common problem. Just sleep it off. Wake up in the morning and eat. So next is recovery and injury prevention. How important is sleep for fitness? Sleep is the natural steroid for fitness. Your muscles don't grow in the gym. They grow when you're resting and recovering. So if you're not getting 7 to 9 hours a night of sleep, and you're getting that deep REM sleep, maybe you need some melatonin for that, some of y'all have insomnia, then you're not going to look as good as you could have been. You're not going to be as strong as you could have been. And if your main goal is to become better looking, to be stronger, to have more muscle, then you better start sleeping. What should you do on rest days? Whatever you like to do. For here it says walking, stretching, or yoga. Personally, just live your life, man. Just don't go to the gym. How can I prevent injury during workouts? By using proper form and by warming up with those dynamic stretches, or by, low weights on whatever exercise that you're going to be doing that day. What is DOMS? DOMS is delayed onset muscle soreness. It's that buildup of lactic acid that you feel about 24 to 72 hours after a workout. So when your muscles feel sore and you're like, ooh, I feel good. Like I actually did something with my life for the first time in the last 20-something years of living on this earth. Yeah, that's called DOMS. You need more of it. Should I work out if I'm sore? Yeah, why not? That's why I do the push-pull legs. That way I don't have to worry about working out something that's sore. But working out something that's sore isn't necessarily bad. Remember, your soreness is mostly because your muscle has been torn. That lactic acid is built up because you rested overnight, and that's where that soreness comes from. But light exercise is fine. Progress and goals. This is the question that everybody's gonna like, because most of y'all are impatient and need instant gratification in life. But with working out, you will soon learn that delayed gratification is a blessing and the most important thing. So how long does it take to see results? About 4 to 8 weeks of consistent effort would be the best example. I like to say that I didn't see a major change until about 3 months in. After 3 months, I started working out in high school. That's when everybody was like, oh, you're getting buff. Look at your biceps, et cetera, et cetera. That's when people started to brag about my achievements because they had none of their own. How do I track workout progress? I mean, you could write it down in your notes app. You could simply log it. If you have a good memory, record it in your mind. Personally, I've tried doing it on notes, but then it just becomes too much. And I just remember. I simply remember. I may do a PR every other month or every month. And if I could do 315 for a 5x5, and then all of a sudden I can't do 315 for a 5x5, then I know I got weaker. But most of the time it's just I can tell by how my body feels, and I've been working out for a while, so I know what I'm doing for the most part. What is progressive overload? Gradually increasing the weight. So if you start off with 10 pounds for 1 week on bench press, the next week you may be bench pressing 15 pounds. Then the week after that, 20 pounds. So just a small gradual increase of weights or reps or intensity. How do you break a plateau? Best way to break a plateau? Changing up your exercise or resting more. Or eating more. If you get fatter, you start eating more. I'm telling you, food is energy in the gym. That is what's going to make you break through a plateau. So revisiting your diet essentially. But what would I do? I would do 5x5s for strength or whatever exercise you're trying to accomplish to be stronger in. Is body recomposition possible? Yeah, so if you're ugly as hell right now, it's possible to recomp your body. If you have love handles that are hanging over the side and dripping like lava from a volcano, you can recomposition that. And if your mama doesn't love you because you're ugly, you can't blame her because you can recomp that. So yes, with proper training and nutrition, you can do that. Motivation and mindset. We're now on question 31. How do I stay motivated to work out? I'm going to keep it real short and simple. There's no such thing as motivation. The thing that I find motivating is I don't want to be a loser. I want to be better. I want to look better. I want to be stronger. I find inspiration in the fact of going to the gym every day and being like, damn, last week I was doing 135, now I can do 155. To me, that's what makes it fun. It's all about the journey. That's what makes the beautiful part of working out in life is seeing yourself grow. So if that's what makes you motivated, then perfect. But there's going to be plenty of days where you don't feel like going, where you don't have the motivation, and that's where discipline comes in. So I don't believe in motivation. There is no such thing. You may get a spark, but the real thing is motivation. That's the key goal you're looking for. What if I miss a workout? Pat yourself on the back. Don't worry about it too much. I have to force myself to not work out now because I've done it for so long that it feels weird in my routine if I don't. So yeah, just don't stress. Get back to it the next day. Is it okay to start slow? Yeah, but if you do, you're a bitch. Just start lifting some weights, man. How do I build a habit of exercising? Work it around your schedule. Once you start working out and seeing those results, trust me, it's gonna become a habit. If you want to be masculine, or if you're a female, you're trying to grow your ass. When you see your ass grow by an inch, and all the guys start staring at it, you'll understand the reasoning why you get that motivation term or that habit of working out. It becomes an addiction. It's like the first time that you drank alcohol or something, you like it, you start doing it more. Should I work out even if I don't feel like it? Yeah. There's plenty of times I don't feel like. You think I felt like working out when I woke up this morning? Hell no, but, forged through steel. All right, home workouts is our next category. Question 36. Can I get fit with just body weight exercises? You can. You could run, you could do push-ups, you could do pull-ups, you could do squats, lunges, everything with body weight. But if you're expecting to grow tremendously from doing so, then it's not going to be as effective if you're weight training as opposed to body weights. Weights were made for a reason. What's a quick home workout routine? I'll just give y'all the one listed because I don't do home workouts. I think that they're pointless when I could just go to the gym. But it says 20 squats, 15 push-ups, 20 lunges, 30-second plank, and 30-second rest. And then do that for 3 to 4 rounds. Do I need equipment to work out at home? No, we're still going in with the body weight exercises, but equipment would be better, but workout equipment is expensive. If you're willing to pay your whole paycheck and spend that on weights, then congratulations to you, buddy. I don't make that much. How can I make home workouts more challenging? I mean, increasing your reps, reducing the rest, just trying to find ways to make it more challenging, simple. And how often should you do home workouts? The same amount of time that you would go to a gym consistently. So anywhere from 3 to 6 times a week. It's really consistency that ends up mattering in the long run. All right, next category, and for our last 10 questions. Social and lifestyle. Is it better to work out alone or with a partner? Working out alone, because you get that void, that loneliness, that depression, that insecurity, everything that you ever felt, every heartbreak that you ever been through, everybody that didn't believe in you, everybody that called you fat, skinny, piece of your parents who didn't love you. This is your chance to put in your music, vibe out, and work out those inner demons. When you have a partner with you, they're only talking to you and annoying you throughout the workout. I don't know about you, but I haven't met many people in my life that are yelling at me while I'm working out. Most of them are just talking about stuff they did last weekend or stuff that's irrelevant to me lifting more weight than, I don't know, Superman. Should kids or teens work out? Yep, my kid's gonna work out. My kid's gonna be an NFL player, an NBA player, an MMA fighter. He's gonna be everything masculine you can think of. He's gonna start young. Can you drink alcohol and make gains? Yes, but alcohol slows down protein synthesis by a tremendous amount. Also, it hinders REM sleep, which could hinder your recovery and your performance. But I'll tell you what, there's nothing like going to the gym hungover and not being able to feel the weights and end up pushing more than you ever thought you could. Interesting. And remember, more plates, more dates. So maybe alcohol does lead to more gains. Is walking a good workout? Walking's good because it's a form of steady state cardio. So what you're going to do is you're going to improve your heart health from walking because it's a cardiovascular exercise. Then you're going to burn calories, and it can help with recovery because that lactic acid that might have built up will loosen up as you walk furthermore. And can dancing count as exercise? Yeah, it's exercise. In fact, it's great cardio. For our last 5 questions is myths and misconceptions. Will lifting weights make me bulky? No, I've been lifting weights for 6 years, and look at this. Okay, I'm getting carried away. But overall, I feel like the problem is body dysmorphia. I thought that I would be looking like Chris Bumstead after 3 years of working out. And the truth is, that just wasn't the case. I'm 6 years in. I still don't feel like I'm very bulky, but people can tell that I work out. People can tell that I'm buff. But do I look crazy? No. So yeah. The answer is no. Lifting weights probably won't make you bulky unless you got 1 in a million genetics. Do I need to sweat to have a good workout? Nope, that's a terrible indicator. Can I spot reduce fat from my belly, arms, etc.? No such thing as spot reducing fat. So doing 1,000 crunches isn't going to make you skinnier or have abs. The truth is your diet is going to overall affect everything, and that's the only way that you're going to lose weight. But you can't choose the places you lose weight to. And it's different for men and women. Like a lot of men, they store it around their love handles or their back. And then women, they store it mostly in their glutes and their thighs and their titties. So, are women supposed to train differently than men? No, we're all human, all train the same. And for our last question of today's video, is soreness a sign of a good workout? Most of the time, yes. Sometimes, no. Sometimes it's due to overtraining, but most of you will probably never experience overtraining because it actually takes a lot for your body in order to overtrain. But for the most part, yes, soreness is good because it's showing that your muscles are sore, that they've been torn, and that they need to be repaired. But yeah, this has been 50 questions on bodybuilding. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you like these type of videos, please like, follow, subscribe for more content. Comment down below what else you would like to see from me and this channel as I'm continually trying to make this grow. If you haven't seen my other videos, you'll see that I post a lot of training discipline and building purpose, and it's basically just me giving speeches about what I think you should be doing with your life, the building blocks in life, and how to progress in your life instead of staying at a standstill. So once again, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.